there are some chairs. Jared, are there some chairs over there? Extra chairs?
That's yours.
No?
Thank you.
We have no choice now. I'll grab some more chairs after. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Galvanize. Hopefully you can find a seat. There are several chairs. I know it might not look like it, but there are definitely enough chairs for all of you. I will check after this too to make sure though, and bring some other ones over if we need them. Welcome to Galvanize. So who here has been to Galvanize before? Fantastic. Who knew that we offer data science education programming here? Okay, more than I thought would have. That's awesome. That's really encouraging. That means that we're doing our jobs. My job here is, I'm called an evangelist for Galvanize. So my job is to talk to you about what Galvanize is. So some of you maybe came in before and thought we were just a nice looking event space. You know, we have like nice cutesy lights hanging over the ceiling. We offer pizza and everything. But we are much more than that. What we are is a community of learners for technology. And so that's sort of a broad statement, but breaking that down, we offer several different education programs, including a web development immersive, a data science immersive, which is a 3-month deep dive into data science learning and then coming out as a working data scientist. We offer a 1-year master's program, fully accredited in partnership with the University of New Haven out of Connecticut, here in San Francisco, that is also in data science, and also we help you find a job afterward. And then we also offer evening programming, such as this, free tech talks, free workshops in Python, December 12th, come. We also offer paid workshops in the evening. If you do want to come and learn some intro to Python content, we're starting those in January as well, and those meet about a couple times a week. On top of all this, yes, we are a pretty event space. We host over 30 events here in the space, oftentimes talks like this. Sometimes there are even board retreats, like Yelp held actually a sales meeting here last Friday, I believe. So you'll see a whole bunch of different tech community members in the space. And then beyond that as well, we have over 200 tech companies operating out of the space here. And they're carefully selected to only be early and mid-stage tech companies. So that way it's not just, we're not just bringing in people who want a second office outside of their home, who are working attorneys. They're all tech focused. They're all people who are working toward a similar goal. And that's what I mean by we're such a great community of learners. These are people who are striving to build their startups here, to improve and increase their startups here, to get funding. And also, of course, folks like yourself looking to learn more, looking to attend talks, and of course, looking to build their careers into new trajectories. So that's all of what we do here. That's a little bit more about Galvanize. A couple ways that you can keep involved with Galvanize is keep being this awesome member of the community you already are by attending talks like this. You could also, please, work for us. I want to point out, Jordan Ricardo is the fellow who recruited me to work here at Galvanize. He could recruit you too. So if you're interested in working here as an instructor, as another member of our community, we have met several open roles here. Please consider speaking with Jordan after I'm done, or I think after the event. And also, a couple other requests, keep coming to events, attend our programs, hire our graduates. Thank you very much. I'm going to hand this back over to Andrew. Enjoy your time here and keep coming back. Thanks, folks.
And thank you, Galvanize, for the space and the pizza. So Andrew Berger, the CEO of Azumo, many familiar faces here in the audience. Thank you for coming to the different events we put together. The goal of the events that we hold is to share knowledge, push the industry forward, and create awesome products overall. We use IBM Watson internally. We think it's a great tool, and based on interest from folks that we talk and community, we thought, why don't we do a deep dive on Watson overall and their conversation service. And so we have Zheng from IBM who will help guide us through top-down overview on Bluemix, documentation, Watson service, and a surprise for folks here. Josh, do you want to come up?
Yeah.
Great. So let me put the mic here. Do you want the mic there?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So what we'll do is around maybe 30 minutes of demo and then a lot of Q&A. So we're reserving half of the session for questions.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks, Andrew. See you. laptop. There we go. Cool. All right, can you guys hear me in the back? Cool, awesome. Yeah. Andrew, could you? So actually, we'll turn it off in a bit when I show the screen, so I'm just going to talk for a second. Let's turn the lights off in like 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, because I kind of want you guys to see this little guy over here. So first of all, thanks for coming, everyone. My name is Josh. I work at IBM Watson. Specifically, I work on a product called Watson Developer Cloud, which is a collection of machine learning APIs for developers. Today, when Andrew kind of asked me to give this talk, I knew that I wanted to kind of do a demo of some sort, and I wanted to show code for the technical audience to see how you will actually use our APIs. And coincidentally, IBM Research, just like 3 weeks ago, came out with this little adorable kit here. It's like a robot that you can 3D print or laser cut yourself, and then you can put a Raspberry Pi in there, and then you can run Node.js or whatever code you want and connect to our APIs. So I was like, this is perfect. This will use a couple of our APIs, and it's a good way to kind of show off that, and with also focus on conversation. So I will do a live demo in a bit. Before this, let me kind of do the top down and go from Bluemix to give you an intro to Watson Developer Cloud. So can I get a show of hands? How many people here in the audience are developers? Okay, cool. So I will say like 60% of you guys. Can you raise your hand if you've heard of Watson before? Cool, almost all of you guys. The next one is always a fun one. So can you raise your hand if you've heard of Watson, but you just have no idea what we do? All right, okay. So I usually get like some hands up. This is good. I think probably like most of you guys, you first heard of Watson. Is it now working?
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Should I just talk closer?
Yeah, if you want to do that.
All right,
Cool. Does it work?
all right. So probably first heard of Watson on Jeopardy. That's when I first heard of Watson. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Back then, it was basically a supercomputer that sat next to the Jeopardy room. It was something like a 46-core supercomputer that had like Wikipedia and media all downloaded locally for quick access. It was trained on Algebre's voice. Obviously, we're not that anymore. We've evolved a lot since then. We've gone into a couple industries. Healthcare is one. IoT is another, and the product, but we also built something called Watson Developer Cloud, which we took a lot of that functionalities, made them into APIs for you guys to access, and we've also added obviously many more. So now, can I get the lights turned off in the back? And I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here. So this is Watson Developer Cloud. You can obviously simply get there by googling Watson Developer Cloud. And here's our list of services. So we've divided them into a couple categories, language being one. So that's revolved around text, speech, vision, and data. And we just have a new service called Project Into. So language mainly is around text. So if you have something like Alchemy language, that's going to be your main workhorse. If you want to do NLP, so that's entity extractions, topic modeling, sentiment analysis, parse-to-speech tagging, conversation. So this little robot here will use conversation. So this is the tool platform we use to build actual conversational interface with a computer. We have things like obviously like language translation, a tone analyzer, which we'll also use in this little robot here. So you will actually sense the tone of your text. A lot of people are confused, like, does it sense the tone of your voice? No, it doesn't. It doesn't like detect sarcasm in your voice. It's purely looking at the text. And then obviously there's text to speech, speech to text, visual recognition, which is our vision API. It does image tagging, facial detection. It also lets you train custom classifiers. So for instance, a lot of pictures, you'll tag it like there's a cat, there's a dog, but maybe you want to train a classifier that tells the difference between a golden retriever, a Dalmatian, and a German Shepherd or something. So you can train a visual classifier with that. And then we have data services, etc. So go around, play with this. Every single one of these services have come with documentation. We have our API references. You can go and take a look. We give you code in different languages. So go check them out and play around with it and see if it's for you. And obviously, hit me up if you have any questions. So to get access to Watson Developer Cloud, all of these services are hosted at something called Bluemix. How many of you here haven't heard of Bluemix before? Okay, so like about a third. And actually, also curious, how many of you haven't heard of Watson Developer Cloud before this? Okay, also maybe like a fifth of you guys. So Bluemix is our platform as a service offering. Imagine Heroku, AWS. All of our Watson services are hosted on there. So obviously you don't have to, if you already have an application living in AWS, you don't need to host your application on Bluemix to use us. It's just a RESTful API. As long as you can make HTTP calls, you can use our APIs. And this Bluemix, basically you need to sign up for Bluemix and get a credential through Bluemix to use our APIs. But once you get your credentials, you're good to go. All right, so that is a kind of a quick intro to both Watson Developer Cloud and Bluemix. Now I'm going to do a demo of this robot, and basically I'm going to talk about how it works and how you put something like this together. You'll hit a couple of our APIs, speech to text, conversation, text to speech, and tone analyzer, and that'll give you a good feel on how you get started using some of the services. And then I'm going to try to end before 25 minutes because that's usually when I tune out of someone's talk. And so I'll end there, and then I'll just field questions from you guys. All right, here we go. So let's first do a demo of this thing. I guess, can you guys see this in the back? Probably not, right? It's kind of small. Yeah. All right. We're just gonna have to do this. Can we turn the lights on back on? Maybe that'll help. Is that okay? It's the second one. It's the second one from the left. Yeah. Nice. All right. So I'm SSH here into this robot, and basically it does something very simple. So you're going to activate it by saying, "Hey Watson," it's going to ask you how you're feeling, and then you just say whatever's on your mind, and then use tone analyzer to detect the tone of your voice, and then you'll respond using voice again. I want to think of this as kind of your very first beta alpha version of your robot best friend that practices most kind of basic empathy. And all this obviously is open source. And actually, I forgot one thing. Before I dive in, I want to show you the website to get this robot. So he came out with IBM research. His name is TJ Bot. The whole thing, you can go download the file for it right now to 3D print or laser cut. I did this. And then I was talking to the creator. She's like, currently, there's a lot of interest. She's putting in a process right now in place for you guys to order this. But if you're interested, just print it out. It has you don't need to glue it or anything. You just put it together. It has a slot for Raspberry Pi, for a Raspberry Pi camera and an LED. It even has a cute little servo arm here that you can install and move that and stuff. It's pretty cool. So that's TJ Bot. All right, now let's demo TJ Bot.
What's TJ stand for?
Hi there, I am awake.
Thomas J. Watson. Yeah. Yep.
I'm sorry, I only respond to Watson.
Sorry, you said the word, so he's responding. So let's run this again.
Hi there, I am awake.
Hey, Watson.
Hey, how are you feeling today?
The lunch I had was delicious.
Yay, you're happy. That makes me happy.
Or can I say something like, hey, Watson.
Hey, how are you feeling today?
I'm having nightmares.
Don't be scared. Life will get better soon. This too shall pass.
So you see, basically, I forgot to tune the sensitivity on the mic, so it's picking up all the noise. But if you tune it down, you should, speech recognition should perform a lot better. So that's it. So that's the demo. And now I'm going to show you how to put this thing together in basically 150 lines of code. Yeah. All right. So this is it. So as you can see, it's about 150 lines. rather than kind of just show you like all of this together, sweet, thanks Mitch. Together, I'm gonna go through this each step by step. So before even looking at the APIs or thinking about the code, right? Like, what do you need to do to make this thing work? So it's really kind of 4 major steps. So you need to first convert your speech to text. Now you need to do analysis on the text to get the dominant tone of, or the emotional tone of the text. And then you talk to conversation, which you've wired up the dialogue. In this case, it's pretty simple, but you know, give it an input and give you a response. And then you need to take the response and convert it back into audio and speak it back out. So there's 4 main steps. Conveniently, Watson Developer Cloud offers an API for each of these 4 functions. And we're going to go through them one by one. So the link to this GitHub repo will obviously be up at the end of this talk. Go clone it, play around with it. I actually created a tutorial folder here. I guess this. Should I blow this up a little more? Yeah, it's better. I created a tutorial folder where I broke each of the basic interaction with the service into a standalone piece of script that you can run, and that'll get you kind of a feel on how you would interact with the service. So this, first of all, this is Node.js, obviously. So this is step 1 is speech to text. So this is what you would do. So first you need to basically import the Watson Developer Cloud SDK. So we go check out our GitHub. We have a bunch of useful tools. The Node.js SDK is one of them. We have for Python, Java, Swift, etc. So once you have that in, this is the basic code required to set up the mic. So this is a very kind of the basic NPN microphone module that will just take the mic. As you can see here, basically we take in the audio stream, put it into a mic input stream, and then this is all it takes to do the speech. I'm sorry, right here. All it takes to do the speech to text, right? So we take the out mic input stream, pipe it to speech to text .recognize stream, and then that will return a text stream which you save into this variable, and then at the end all you need to say is text stream on the data event display whatever is transcribed. So this is kind of the most fundamental unit on how you would do streaming text transcription. Yeah, and I didn't mention, so basically this pre-recognized stream creates a WebSocket connection to our service, so it's doing streaming transcription as it hears data. So let's just quickly run this and see how it works. That's my SSH. So, tutorial step 1. Hey Watson. I am currently in San Francisco, speaking at a meetup. So there you go. And you'll see that he actually has hesitation. It's one of the, I've talked to some developers which they find really helpful. We give you kind of little annotations throughout on kind of what's happening. People, for instance, use hesitation a lot to like maybe chop up different kind of snippets of phrases. It's very helpful. So anyways, so there you go. That's speech to text, right? So we've done step 1. We've taken the audio, we've converted it into text. Now let's go to step 2, which is tone analyzer. Yeah, you can see that. Cool. So this is probably the simplest call in this whole code, right? So again, you instantiate tone analyzer using our SDK, and then you just say tone analyzer.tone and give it the text, and it will return you the tone. So what is really tone analyzer? So first, let me run it. You'll give you results. Oops. So the input was, I love Watson, right? So it's like a pretty positive tone. You'll give you all this stuff. This JSON is kind of hard to read and parse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the demo for Tone Analyzer. So each of our service includes a demo. You can just go around, play around with it. This is a demo for Tone Analyzer. We kind of give you a couple ideal inputs, but you can also enter your own text. In this case, we just want to do something simple, like I love Watson. And this is what you get back. So there's kind of 3 categories of tones you have. So you have the emotional tone, which are a couple things like anger, disgust, and then there's a language style and social tone. In this case, you say I love Watson. Joy is probably the dominant emotion here. It's not really enough data to give a language style, so only 3 words. Usually tone actually works a lot better on kind of larger chunks of text. This is not the ideal use case for tone analyzer. And then there's also social tendencies. So why these, right? So these are actually kind of psycholinguistic models that are established in the field of psychology that basically studies the relationship to language. What can you infer from language about certain psyches of humans? So what are the emotions? And this is actually the big five, if you guys are familiar with personality. So in this case, someone maybe would say, I love Watson, might be more agreeable and more extrovert. Cool. So, come play around with this. I think the probably most relevant to this group here would be the customer chat log. So you kind of have a customer chat log. You can analyze it. You'll see that there's more analytical and tentative in the tone. The emotion has anger, joy, and sadness. Hopefully it was anger and sadness first, then joy. So this is tone, and obviously you can view the JSON file here of the results, and that's exactly what this is. So that's tone. Before I go any further, any questions on speech, text, and tone analysis? Yeah.
Maybe a little bit beyond that, but if you had a ton of agent responses, is it one of your modules that could say what the agent should say next?
What the agent should say next? We don't have a module that does like language generation, if that's kind of what we're asking.
There's a bunch of patterns there, right?
Right. So next step, I'll talk about conversation. So it has things that can recognize intent, recognize user inputs, and you can say, okay, if this is where the conversation is going, then I can plan out what the agent is saying next. Cool. Any other questions about speech text or
Tone analyzer works with English language only, yeah?
Yeah, I think it has a couple languages. We have different language supports for different services, so I'm kind of always a little iffy. But if you check the official documentation, it will be very clear. Yeah, just go check out the documentation. You will have supported languages in there. Anyways, any other questions?
So you can take action based on your output.
Yeah, so I'm going to show you next. Basically, I'm going to take the output of tone and then integrate it with the conversation service, and then take actions differently. Right? And like in this case, it's responding to different tones in my emotion. Right? Maybe if I wasn't very clear in the beginning, it has. So basically, I can recognize 5 different emotions you want to say based on the tone analyzer results. They are anger, disgust, fear, joy, and sadness. And based on the detected tone of it, I'll respond differently. Right? If it's joy, the beginning is like, hey, I'm happy, you're happy. And then if you're like having nightmares, right, that's fear. You're like, okay, well, don't be scared. Yeah. Does that make sense? Cool. Any other questions?
I guess, so the phrase it's doing the analysis on is I love Watson, correct?
Yes.
How did it get sadness from that?
I'm sorry?
How did it get sadness from that?
Oh, how do you get sadness? So these
There's only
are
3 words there.
Yeah, so the thing to think about is this is it's basically it's a model that has likelihood of these different emotions. In this case, it's saying that it has, let me go back to the page here. So what it's saying is that it's not 74% joy and like 70% sadness. It's saying it has joy with a likelihood of 74%. And sadness is only 17%, right? So if you have some sort of heuristic, you'll say, well, it's actually not very likely at all this will have sadness. Usually something about like above 70% that you will actually, yeah. So these are not compositions, right? Or likelihood scores.
Maybe you're breaking up with Watson.
Yeah, there you go. All right, one more question, and I'm going to move on. I'll field all questions again. Sorry.
There's some like big training corpus that's been used to build this model. Can you provide your own corpus?
Can you provide your own corpus? For Tonalizer, no. We have services, well, I'll talk to you about it afterwards, asking. So we have services that let you provide your corpus and kind of train on your own data. This API is meant to be very simple and easy to use. So you give us data, we can do results. It's not meant to be some very complicated kind of custom kind of job. All right, so let me move on, and then I'll happy to take as many questions as at the end. get my water. All right. So that's tone. Now let's dive into maybe what we're all here for, conversation. So this is the code on how you will talk to the Watson conversation service. Again, you simply instantiate using conversation. Make sure you attach your credentials, which you'll get from Bluemix again. And these are just some wrapper codes, but really the whole exchange happens right here. So you have conversation.message, right? And then, so you call this function conversation.message, let me hide that properly. And then you give it a workspace ID, so you'll have to create a workspace. Again, I'll show you the conversation tooling side of things in a bit. And then you just simply give it the input and then give it the context variable, which I'll also talk about in 20 seconds. And then Watson will give you the context back along with the response, and I'm just gonna simply display it. The rest of the code is just, I want this thing to run on a standalone in the command line, so prompt just takes your command line input and I just call the function recursively, so the conversation just keeps going. So what is this context variable? So context variable is what you use to exchange information between your application code and the server side. So a lot of times, right, you have information that you know on your side of the code that you would like the Watson service, conversation service to know, and a lot of times there are information on the other side that you like your application code to know. So context variable is very simple. It's straight up just an object, like I'm defining right here. You know, depending on the language, dictionary, hash table, and then you just pass it along in your API call to the other side, and then Watson will modify it, add to it, and then give it back to you. And that's kind of how you talk to the service. Let me now show you the server side of it. So you can simply get there by going to IBM Watson conversation. So log in with the Bluemix credentials. I'm already in. These are a couple workspaces. I've made like a couple other chatbots. So these are what they are. But, you know, we have TJ bot. On the top, you'll see a couple things. You'll see intense, entities, dialogue, and improve. Let me show you first the dialogue because that's, you know, kind of what we're here for. It's the most straightforward. So this is a very simple conversation, right? Like I'm doing this for the sake of simplicity for this demo. Basically, it's the black part is the condition, so the condition on the user input, and then what the response is. In this case, I'll explain it, also explain the @ sign and the $sign. But basically, when you address Watson, when you text, "Hey Watson," it's going to say, "Hey, how are you doing?" And then based on the emotion that you tell the conversation service, it'll give you the appropriate response. If you sense disgust, it says, "Yikes, sorry, specify that." You know, fear, don't be scared, I'll be very soon, etc. So what is this @ sign and what is this $sign? So the basic building blocks of conversation are intents and entities. So in this case, because this conversation is so simple, we don't have intents. But intents you can think of as, if you use any other chatbot platform, Model will have this. It's basically think of it as the verb of your conversation, it's like what the user intends to do. And a lot of times, for instance, the user wants to reset a password, and there are a lot of ways they can say that. Like, I forgot my password, I can't log in anymore. How do I reset my password? And they all really map to the same thing. So what intents are is really just a text classification algorithm that's classifying all of these backboards into the same class. And we're calling it intent in this case. So you can easily create intents, and you can use intents to drive to different branches of your conversation. Entities are more like nouns in your conversation. So in this case, we only use one entity, which is Watson. So we're saying when you look at the dialogue, you say, well, hey, when you see Watson as an entity, you respond by saying, hey, how are you feeling? And then you wait for the user input, and based on the user input, you branch a couple different ways. We also kind of have a new improve tab here, which shows you, log of the different conversations where you can go back and kind of analyze a lot of your conversation there, your past conversations, you improve your background. So these are kind of the building blocks. And now let's look at the $sign emotion. So that's the context variable. So remember how I put emotion, context.emotion here into the context variable? Now in my dialogue, I need to know, right? I need to know what that emotion is because my code called a different API tool analyzer and got the emotion. So now I need to tell my Watson conversation service that, okay, this is emotion, respond accordingly. And the way you access that is through the $ emotion. So you say, if $ emotion is equal to discuss, to this, equal fear to this. So that is the conversation service in a quick nutshell. If you have questions, maybe it's better I take it at the end, but maybe if there are some quick questions now about how this works, I can take it now as well.
What are the other conditions?
I'm sorry?
So you switch dialogue by emotion here.
Yeah.
What else we can use?
Oh yeah, so for instance, you can do an intent here, right? So, well, this is probably a bad idea for me to try to alter my production dialogue, but you can say something like, let's say I create an intent, and it's like, let's do something like, you want teacher to wave his arm, right? So it's like, wave arm. And then you can give different ways you can say that. So like, can you dance? Can you wave your arm? Or do something with your arm. And all these are possible ways you want, that's the same intent. Maybe all of these things you want teacher to do the same thing. You'll be like, okay, I love dancing. And start waving your arm. So now at this point, you can go to the dialogue.
Hit create.
Shoot, yep, I hit create. So, wave, and you can say, can you dance? Can you wave your arm? So you need to give it, a good chunk of examples that can cover the whole space, but of possible kind of inputs, user inputs. But once you have that, you can go to dialogue and you can say, if you detect the wave intent, and say, sure, I love dancing. And that'll be a response. Does that make sense?
So, to recognize the intent, does it have to be an exact match to the string that you put in? Or, for example, if you programmed in wave your arm, would it be able to recognize please wave your arm?
Yes. So that's kind of the whole magic behind this, right? So it's a actual like a machine learning algorithm that will take all the responses and say this is a class of possible. There's a lot of all these inputs belong in the same class, and it doesn't have to be the exact match. So it's a classifier.
And so how does it know when it's got a valid match? In other words, there's a learning phase to this where it has to find out that the match is correct?
Can you repeat the question on the microphone?
So the first part of it was, does it need to be an exact match for the intent? And the answer is no. So that's the whole point of, right, something like this is you don't know exactly what the user will put. But if you've seen enough data, you will cover the possible space of user intents. And if you can train out enough data, then even if it's a phrase that you haven't seen before, you'll be able to classify it correctly into the correct class. Yeah.
So 2 questions. So the first one, going back to the corpus of data that we had talking about before, can we somehow, like let's say we have user-generated data, how do we plug it in here? Do we have to use this UI to do it?
No, so you can, so what we can do is you can actually import a workspace. So if you have it forming an appropriate JSON, you can upload. So you can first export it using download. And then, I think we might have switched around a little bit. There's a way you can upload, there we go. You can upload the JSON file, and you'll have all your intents in there, entities, your entire dialogue mapped out. So you just import that, and you will show. And so I have actually another tutorial it's like a Slack bot that you can talk to it and ask you what you want to cook, and you can give it a bunch of different ingredients. You'll give you recipe suggestions. It's kind of like a longer, more complex dialogue. I have a tutorial up, and I give you the files. You can test it. It's a JSON file, just upload it, and then the workspace will appear here. And just use it. Yeah.
What's it look like on the screen?
I'm sorry?
What's it look like on the screen?
What does what look like on the screen?
The recipe.
I have a tutorial. I'll give you the link to it at the end. Go check it out. I have like a very step-by-step on how you build Cool. So that's step 3 of conversation. And lastly, is text-to-speech. So this is pretty simple. Again, you instantiate text-to-speech, and then you give it some text. So it's a, hey guys, I'm Watson, something like that. And then you give the parameters here where you give it the actual input text, the voice. We're using the micro voice, which is kind of default. I think that one sounds most like probably Watson that everyone hears on commercials. And then you simply do text-to-speech synthesize, and it will return your audio stream, which you can use file system to write into a WAV file, and then just play it. So I'm sure that will work.
Hey guys, I am Watson.
I'm sure you guys can hear that, but trust me, he speaks it. So that's text-to-speech. So now we have multiple parts, right? And they're all pretty simple, short pieces of code. Now we just need to put it together. So go ahead, if you want to clone this repo, it's in run.js. There's only a couple of things we need to modify. So, but at this point, if you go through this code, which is 147 lines, you'll recognize already at this point, like probably 85% of it. You instantiate all 4 services. You set up the mic, like we did in speech to text. And then kind of the one thing you watch out for is that if you want to put everything together, you want to pause the mic. You want to pause the mic while TJ is talking, right? Or else it's going to be an infinite feedback loop. And TJ is going to seem like he's crazy, and he's not crazy. So what we do here is basically once we save the output file, we get the length of the output file using a library called node f probe. So we know the duration of the file, and then we simply just pause the mic for that one. So that's one thing you watch out for. The second one is that here's the code to get tone analyzer. You need to wrap that in a promise. So because of the asynchronous nature of the node, everything is fired off asynchronously. But in this case, before you talk the conversation, you need to get the tone. Right? You can't have tone be undefined. So you wrap in a promise, and you resolve this promise towards the end. Right before you start the conversation, you say game motion and then .then, which resolves the promise and say only do you get after you get your motion back, you then go and talk to the Watson conversation service. I would say the last thing to watch out for, so this is just text-to-speech, and then last thing to watch out for is we kind of have an extra gateway here. So we're constantly listening to stuff if this thing is constantly running. So we just want to make sure while we're at attention where you put in your config file, in this case it's Watson. We only enter the conversation, we actually detect the word Watson. Then you set dialogue to true, and then you start the dialogue, which is the conversation piece of it. And then whenever you hear back get the response back, you simply say speak response, and that's the Watson response. And that's the whole thing. That's how you get teach about here. Feel free to come up and play around with it, open it up, see what's inside. Some pretty Westworld stuff. And I think that's pretty much all of my talk. I'm going to leave this slide up. If you guys want to take a look.
Yeah.
What's up?
No, you had an article. Why don't you show it?
You want me to show it now? Yeah, sure. So here's all the useful links to the exact. It took me like 2 days to write this thing. I feel like it's very detailed on exactly how you go about building a chatbot like this. So I go through what it does, a step-by-step tutorial, where you get the thing, how you sign up for the credentials, how you set up the config file. I break down each of these, what I just did, code by code, and how you set up the conversation and all of that. So if you want to do this thing, all of it's here. Part 2 tells you how to put actually the physical shell TJ-bot together, and how you actually run it on Raspberry Pi, which is pretty simple. You just need to copy it over. There's one thing to watch out for on Raspberry Pi, which is that it uses a different audio library than your Mac. So Mac uses SOX, and Raspberry Pi uses something called ALSA, which is an audio library that you install and get running. And then that's the only thing that's different. The rest of the code is the same. And I also have the Raspberry Pi code in the repo, obviously. Cool. I'll leave this up and I'll take questions.
Do you have anything in Python?
We do. Well, so first of all, so I'm actually a Python developer. I had to learn Node to this thing. other tutorial I have on Medium. So it's this recipe, the Slackbot recipe bot that I briefly mentioned. So this whole thing is in Python. So your work, again, the repo is for you to just clone and play around with. All the code is in Python, how you integrate Slack, how you talk to conversation using Python instead of NLP. So you know what, I'm gonna put this up here too. Slack tutorial. It's long. But if you find me on Medium, it's there. Yeah. Cool. Can I close the now? So it's easier to close the version. Cool. Yeah, questions?
When you download it to the Raspberry Pi, are you downloading the tone detection library, or is that still doing an API call?
All of that is API call. So all four of these things are API calls over HTTP, except speech to text, which is over WebSocket. But they're all on the web. You don't download. There's nothing you need to download. Yeah. So I also have on part 2. I kind of go through how you set up a Raspberry Pi. There's just not enough time right now. But yeah, how you set up Raspberry Pi, install Node.js. I think I did it using Brew, Homebrew, and then you can. There's like all the easy ways for you to just transfer file over. And if you look at my demo, all I'm doing is I have it copy basically that folder here, and I just do node run Raspberry Pi. But if you want this thing to be like probably more robust, you want to wrap it in like a Linux service, so you run some startup and then you can manage it, using like a process.
Is communicating back via Wi-Fi then?
Yeah. So this whole thing is it's connected to Wi-Fi, so it's talking directly to the Watson service. Yeah.
Post the useful links section.
I'm sorry, could you
Can you post the useful links, the links on the conversation?
I can do that.
Yeah, sure. So the links will be up on the media page.
I want to confirm that just about anybody can use Watson, so I can just call the Watson application.
I'm sorry?
Can anybody just use Watson?
Yes, so anyone can use Watson. You just need to sign up on Bluemix, which will get you an account, and then you can just log into any of these. So I would say the easiest way to do this is go to, again, Watson Developer Cloud. It's in the useful links, right? Yeah, Watson Developer Cloud, right here. And then whatever service you're interested in, follow our documentation, and it'll tell you how to get started.
Josh?
One second, we'll go there. Bluemix.net, although he showed an IBM email, you can, with whatever email address you use, you go there, you can create an account. Don't be afraid that it's not be a part of the case there. And you are creating an IBM ID with whatever email address. Once you are there, Josh, his name was great with just 0 intents and what was it, 2 entities?
One entity.
We have products working with pages of intents and pages of entities programmatically being accessed rather than with this UI. And so we found that the flexibility of the tool is great, and that's why we're organizing this event to share that. So there was a question over there.
Is there a grammatical service? For example, if I said I have a table red, would it correct it to I have a red table?
So it's like automatic grammar detection. We don't have that. There are things that you might be helpful. So like our Alchemy language service does parts of speech tagging. So if you give it a sentence, it'll tell you that this is a verb here, this is a noun here, it might be helpful if you're trying to kind of construct your own grammar and corrector.
Thank you.
The backwards.
So what kind of data is service collecting?
Could you repeat the question?
So what does the service collect all the chat data?
No, the service does not collect the chat data. So whatever chat data you give us is purely yours. IBM here, we're not trying to, we're different from, or especially Google and Facebook, right? We're not trying to build a singular, all-powerful knowledge graph. We're less, to sell ads or something like that. That's not our interest. One of the things we offer to our clients is that whatever data you put on our server is purely yours. We're not trying to collect them to improve some like complete knowledge graph.
It does store your data though. So that's how you review the chatbots, right? So if we don't use it, we don't resell it, we don't look at it.
Yeah.
There was a question here.
Yeah, also, by the way, everyone that's Mitch. So he's so he is the product manager, one of the product managers for the conversation service. So if you have questions, direct this way, but product complaints. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, please. Yeah, so the question is what is the pricing model? So that's also in our documentation. So we go to conversation. I'm sorry?
The developer thing is just a test, if I just want to like demo it, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. So we offer
10,000 messages for free per month.
Yeah, so we get 10,000 messages for free per month. You can get started for free. There's a free tier that you can use forever, and then once you go over that tier, it's pay as you go. Yeah.
Do you have a question?
So do you want to see it? Do you want to see the pricing or?
Yeah. So I have my question.
Okay.
He asked the question how much. So how much?
Sure. Yeah. I can show you the.
I remember it on Bluemix.
We should have pricing on our documentation here too. Yeah. Here's your pricing. 1,000 API queries per month. So that's our free tier, standard premium.
So
Yes.
those were basically my questions. They were very similar to it. What you just displayed, just in essence, I just want to see if I captured it correctly, was just that you gave a way for us to be able to go and trial it out and demo it out ourselves, and then we can upgrade to your more professional services. Do your professional services come with the same sorts of packages that are used in the healthcare sector as well?
Oh, okay. So the question is, so that's a good question. So the question is, you have this stuff, you can get started, but then let's see if you want to go into healthcare. So so obviously, healthcare is always a tricky one. So Watson Health is a different division than what I work on. Right now, so if you've been paying attention to the news, we basically made 2 very large acquisitions in Watson Health, basically this year. And first of all, so here's what I'm supposed to say. If you're interested in the data, we're integrating it right now in the data, and you can go there. If you want to use this, currently this is not HIPAA compliant. So if you want, and that is coming next year. So right now you can't, so if you're trying to store patient-sensitive information on this, that's a no. I mean, other than that, we do have companies who are using us where they do the conversation part that doesn't involve any patient-sensitive information. Then the ones that actually involve patient-sensitive information, they kind of pass it on to the company.
What about for the other industries like law?
In law? Yeah. I mean, you're more than welcome to use it for whatever industry you like. Healthcare is always the trick on this one, Justin. But yeah, of course.
Or like your pack. What I mean is your ability to be able to parse through those specific laws of the United Kingdom for the parking tickets.
Yeah.
For that kid that did that. So how did he get access to what your database is, or did he input all of the UK law into your database?
Yeah. So I know the kid you're talking about. I don't know how he did his. I imagine, so we don't provide like prepackaged data of law or something like that. I imagine he probably did a combination of like NLP, and did extraction on that, and then.
It's a conversation service.
Yeah. And then is it only conversations? Oh, didn't use. Okay, yeah. So and then I guess he figured out all the possible intents and how to respond to them. Yeah.
I can tell you more.
Cool. Okay, you can tell me more. Yeah. Nice, thanks. Yeah.
So following up on his question, right? So I'm getting a sense that if I want like some sort of customer service bot, I can do it pretty easily. But I'm just wondering what are some of the other applications, right? So if I've got a very complex factory or something about automation and with some of these Watson apps, how do I go about figuring out what I can use and what the richness of the application is?
Okay, so the question is, if you want to do something like this for customer service, how do you about getting started? So first of all, customer service is probably one of our definitely target use cases. We have some very successful partnerships with different companies doing this. It always is depends, right? Like what data or what's the use case you're trying to address. So maybe we can talk afterwards about that one. If you actually have, if you can tell me what sort of data you're looking for and then what kind of interactions you're trying to do.
So the question around use cases for conversational software is huge. Customer support could be one of those. But anything you interact with in natural language, either text or voice, could potentially be a use case for conversational software. Watson Conversation and the set of Bluemix APIs around Watson enable you to create different use cases. Folks around the room, if you chat with individuals, each one might have entertainment, media, law, customer support, hailing a ride, you name it. So anything, imagine the progression of web interfaces to mobile interfaces to conversational natural language interfaces. So that can spark different ideas of how, in your business, you could implement a conversational interface for a feature function. What other questions do you have? Yeah. Okay.
For the conversational service, I'm curious to know if it's adaptive and if it learns over time. So if for the customer service use case, for example, if I say, hey, what's my order status? And it says it's delivered or it's shipped, and then I want to know the next time if it's delivered. Do I have to keep telling, do I have to have the same conversation over and over again with the order number and all?
So I think the question is around stateful.
Yeah, I mean, you have a very complex
I know, but yeah, you are the speaker. And so I invited you to speak, and so, but I think the question is around that, stateful, and then also the learning, training.
What do you mean the stateful? So to answer the learn, stateless. Right. So this is stateless. Is what we're talking about. And in terms of learning, there are ways you can help it learn. So the improve tab that I showed, right? So that's like a good start. You can basically look at. So you can quickly take a look at all the conversations you had before, and then you can kind of correct it. So one way here, maybe I can show you this. This may be the best one. So if you're talking, so this is, you can say like, hi Watson, and then it's saying, you can have this way, but you're saying, okay, this is not correct, right? It's actually something else. You can give it, it's like this actually is supposed to be a different intent. I don't have a greetings intent, but then you can say, okay, this is actually greetings. So it's helping this. And also the way right now we're coming out with APIs where you can actually modify and interact with your dialogue via an API, and that will make it a lot easier too, because you can get your dialogue, understand where things are going wrong, and then using a log, and then upload and update your dialogue using the API. So that's coming. Yeah.
Mitch.
Oh, yeah, Mitch.
I just want to say we wouldn't recommend unsupervised learning, which is what you're kind of talking about. There's always a human in the loop to safeguard. So it doesn't. If you heard about, I assume you heard about Microsoft Tay, right? She was learning things that probably she shouldn't learn.
Let me take the mic back. So if you have a microphone, your voice is heard. It's being streamed. Okay.
So I was just saying, we don't recommend unsupervised learning, which would be having Watson learn something
without at least me or some expert saying, yes, please go learn this, right? And I assume, maybe everyone heard, but I assume everyone here has heard about the Microsoft Tay experiment, which in my opinion was really cool. It was a great idea for them to do. They probably learned a lot, but there was some unsupervised learning going on there where she was just taking things other people had said and repeating them, right? So she's going to say something that's inappropriate, which is exactly what happened, especially on the internet. So we still have a human in the loop to kind of safeguard from learning the wrong thing, because you see how quickly it can go really wrong.
I forgot what the experiment was.
So Microsoft Tay was a chatbot that Microsoft built, obviously. It was a Twitter bot, and it had no use case, right? It would just come chat to me. And it very quickly became racist and ignorant and rude and swearing and, you know, things that most people wouldn't want to say online. Because people can talk to it anonymously. Like, I don't know if you've ever been in an anonymous chat room. Things get pretty gross pretty fast.
Yeah.
So I have an out-of-the-box question. What about a use case to compare audio files, not necessarily speech? Maybe I have a piece of factory equipment and I have it base recording when it's working properly, and I want to monitor that so I get alerted when that machinery is not working.
Yeah, that is very out of the box. I don't know what the answer to that is. For our speech to text, we're supposed to give you back text, right? So in this case, it's like, no, there's no text. And then, apparently Andrew knows. And also, while we're here though, I'm supposed to make an announcement. Speech to text, as of Monday, we have diarization in beta, which means if you have multiple people, like an audio file of multiple people talking, we do speaker identification. We'll say this is speaker 1, speaker 2. So if you have like a conference call that you transcribe, that's like a very useful tool. So that's now in beta. And Andrew.
So we use audio fingerprint technology. This is sound, right?
Yes.
So for open source fingerprint component, if that's the case, then that's one way to approach. Right? But now this is text to speech, speech to text, language.
Thank you. So in the text, in the speech.
Sorry, he's first.
Okay. Sorry.
You said you accessed it programmatically earlier?
Yeah.
What did you mean by that?
How also Josh showed via the code. And so you can, so for example, he said that
Speech to text, right? It was a question about speech to text, how you access it programmatically, right?
How you access it programmatically.
Yeah,
You can access the Watson services via code.
So you were building something programmatically?
No, well, what Josh is showing is one screen on the internet, one screen on the internet. You can get complex very quickly.
Oh, I see.
And also the dialogue.
You were doing the intents via the drag and drop. You were doing it.
You could do it programmatically in the dialogue as well. You've got confidence level, results coming in, and decide what to do. There were some questions on dynamically, what to show, what not to show. You can make those decisions on the back end based on confidence levels.
And we're releasing APIs in the next couple of weeks to train intents individually, entities individually, and dialogue individually. Today, you could just export the JSON of your whole workspace and add them that way if you have the skills to write a script. We'll have APIs to train programmatically also, very soon.
Yep. Yes.
Are you familiar with Microsoft's Bluemix?
I wouldn't say I'm particularly.
Yes.
Sounds right. Yes.
Yeah.
If you're willing to speak to any kind of compare and contrast that would be really useful, I'll just give you one way to kick it off, which is currently with these 15 to 20 intent nodes is where it starts to crap out. So I saw 2,000 as your standard pricing. So I'm just curious about that, and anything else you're willing to speak to as far as the strengths of each
Yeah.
author environment, access to other components
Yeah, so
via Watson.
I would say from a technical standpoint, they're our closest competitor, right? Because the two companies have huge research divisions, right? So Google has one called API.A that they just acquired. That from a technical standpoint, I don't think it's as powerful. From a tooling standpoint, it's super easy to use, right? And that we learned a lot. So we've had a couple different services that did this. We had Watson Engagement Advisor, it became Natural Language Classifier and Dialogue, and now we have Conversation. Each one of those got easier to use. So I think Microsoft is on a similar journey, right? It's hard to use still. It's very technically powerful. Ours, I believe, is much easier to use from like especially a non-developer standpoint, right? Someone who doesn't have technical skills to go and do something inside of the tooling. 2,000 is a limit we put on intents, mostly from just kind of a runtime access perspective. We've done experiments with more, right? It was just kind of a limit we felt was reasonable. 1,000 intents is where accuracy really typically starts to degrade, but that's only because most use cases don't have 1,000 truly unique questions, right? So when you use intents and entities together, if I have like, where is the pool and where is the restaurant, I would say that's one intent of just location. Pool and your restaurant are your entities. So 1,000 unique intents is honestly very hard to find, and when I hear customers who run into that problem, I say you probably are doing it wrong. Again, Microsoft has a very similar platform with Azure. They just released a kind of a new, they kind of revamped it all to make it much easier to combine services. So I think they're, a few months behind us in the ease of use, but from a technical standpoint, I'm sure it's all very, very good. Lewis is really their version of conversation, and they also have the bot framework, which is about getting it onto channels. To me, combining them was not intuitive. You can use the bot framework to do some classification, some dialogue, but it's all code, right? There is no tooling. Lewis is a form of tooling that I don't think is quite as easy. So they're coming though. I'm definitely afraid, right? I don't want to put them down. I think their just user experience is a little behind at this point.
Can I have Mike?
There's a video where we have a recording of Lewis and the bot framework, if you care to see a 1 hour deep dive.
That was hosted by you, right?
Yeah. Hosted by us. Okay, great, thank you.
What does this TJ bot have on it in terms of Watson?
Yeah, so he has 4 services in terms of like the functionalities you're talking about. So
how deep can you go with it?
So first of all, the question is what's on TJ for Watson, and it's the 4 services I talked about, and then the question is how deep can you go with it.
So I have back pain. I'm sorry to hear that, or does it say start diagnosing your back pain?
Yeah, so at this point, no. So if you look at the dialogue, it's very clear, it's only a 2-volume dialogue. So whatever you say is going to empathize with you by saying something that addresses that emotion, but that's it. But obviously you can then start going, right? You can say, okay, so you're feeling disgust. Why are you, what's so disgusted? And then you can start asking stuff like that.
See, you're building out the architecture as deep as you want TJ bot to go with you. And
Yeah.
I can take content online, unstructured data, parse it through Watson. You guys will parse it for me and then make this for me, or no?
So how you would do something like that is you would put whatever unstructured data you have, you probably have to clean it. Alchemy language would be probably the one to use for you to kind of get structured data out of the unstructured data. So that'll do topics, entity extractions, and things like that. And then at this point, right, before the API that comes out soon, you will have to form that JSON yourself, use any script, and then upload it, and then then the whole thing will be displayed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So let's do one more, and then announcement.
Yeah.
And then do you have a question?
Yeah, you were using the alchemy extraction. If you were reading a paper that has citations, could it handle the citation?
Can you so would you be able to kind of like extract out the citations? Is that what you mean? I don't know that one specifically, but again, if you go to our documentation page, the demo is right there. So you just put in your data. Like if you go to Alchemy, you can view that's documentation, view the demo. And then you can put your own text in here and see what it gives you back. So go copy paste the paper you had in mind and see what are the entity extracts, the keywords, the concepts, the taxonomy of it, and all of that. Just paste it in there, see what you get. Yep. Cool.
So a quick announcement. Everything that we are discussing is around conversational software. So guys, keep in mind that what we're focusing on is on creating products that have natural language interfaces throughout. What we're demoing here is human to bot natural language interface. But you can imagine how you can expand that with other use cases. Given that we focus on this area, there's a conference coming up that I wanted to share with all of you. It's the Virtual Assistant Summit that happened end of January here in San Francisco. And what I try to do is get discounts for our community. So if you use Media 20, that's a 20% virtual assistant summit here in San Francisco, end of January. And I want to thank Josh and the rest of the IBM team for showcasing this. Can you help me out? And Josh, if people want to connect with you or ask you questions, how do they do so?
Yeah, why do I?
Twitter account, Medium account?
I don't really tweet, but send me an email at joshzheng@us.ibm.com.
Right, and there are some cards too.
Yep, got some cards.
Great. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Donna.